Greetings in the love and in the light of our infinite prime creator, the divine grid programmer. Namaste, namaskaram. Welcome, dear esteemed, most noble, honorable, and grand viewer. Welcome to this episode, the second episode of Teshuva Talk, the power of prayer. Boy, I'm excited for this second episode. I don't know if it's something to do with this Happy Belly Amazon brand instant coffee. Adequately heated. But I'm excited to greet you, my dear, esteemed, most notable, and honorable viewer. I think I added one or changed one. I need some more coffee. Buenos dias, bonjour. Oginki desu ka? Ni hao ma. Listen, folks, let's talk about the power of prayer and how I believe that most people in this day and age, and certainly at this late age of the Kali Yuga, don't understand the power of prayer, don't quite understand that without change, something sleeps deep inside us and seldom awakens, and that the sleeper must awaken. Because the power of prayer must be awakened within each and every one of us. And to awaken that power of prayer, we must have the knowledge to do such. And it is my contention that the power of prayer, the power of manifesting the words you speak to God, to Source, you must first realize that you are Source. You are a fraction, a fractal of Source. And that the power of prayer involves your words spoken in a very special way, in a very musical way that is evocative of your heart energy. And keep in mind, the heart, your feelings, the heart is the most powerful electromagnetic organ that we possess as humans. It's not the mind, it's the heart. But the power of prayer is to be activated, is to be manifested. The power of prayer is to be executed with the power of the heart and the electromagnetic frequencies of the heart. So you must feel, you must really engage all aspects of who you are, dear, esteemed, honorable, and most noble viewer. There it is, noble, not notable. But hey, that's the same thing, notable and noble, isn't it? If you were a noble, you would be quite notable. Let me have some more coffee. But let's start with this, folks. Let's talk about the Ark, and the Ark as in the Ark of the Covenant, as in Raiders of the Lost Ark. But the Ark, I'm sure you may be familiar with this holy relic object, but it is an actual, it is a device that is alive and is out there today. But not so well known about this Ark is that it was a communications device. And hear me out, dear, esteemed, honorable, and most noble and notable viewer, because prayer is a communication between you as a fractal of God and Source. It is your heartfelt entreaty, your heartfelt spoken desire, your power of prayer to manifest what it is. And hopefully it's something, noble and notable and honorable and esteemed. You're not just asking for, dating advice or something, although that's not outside of the realms and powers of prayer, but, something like maybe perhaps for world change and, and we're all going to make it on this golden age timeline. But the Ark of the Covenant is a communications device, much like your prayer is a type of communications device between you and the infinite intelligence. But what people don't understand is that the Ark of the Covenant was actually a holographic communication device that projected a hologram of the person who was on the other end of the line. So this is a type of multi-dimensional communication. Okay, and that's what you need to understand, the power of prayer in your spoken words as a multi-dimensional communication. Therefore, you must leverage all dimensions of who you are and your tool sets, your skill sets, how you speak, the feelings behind it, the emotions behind your prayers. And communication, though, and prayer requires two parties communicating with one another. So when you're communicating with the Almighty, when you're communicating your desires, your prayers to the source of all, of infinite, to the infinite prime creator, when you're writing your divine code to send it to the divine grid programmer, you must realize that communication requires two parties communicating with one another, and so does prayer. And therefore, think about your prayer, how you pray, how you make your prayers. Are you lackadaisical, or are you kind of like just, is it by the numbers? God, please help me pass this test. Oh God, please help me, get this girl to notice me. Help me, whatever it is. But are you saying it like that, or are you really invoking? And if you really want to get into invoking and prayer, look into how the ceremonial people of ceremonial white magic do it. I mean, they're visualizing, everything's firing on all cylinders. But listen, those here below do not know how to speak the language of above. And that is what you need to learn and understand about the power of prayer, that it is another type of holy language. So those here, right now, below, those of us in the third dimension, not connected to source, do not know how to speak the language of above, and therefore will never be heard. Those above have been given strict instructions only to answer to those who speak their language. Today, those who speak the language from above are ever so few. The language from above is not spoken with words or with the similar forms of communications that we use today in this third dimensional day-to-day existence, the same kind of communication that you go to the grocery store or whatever, or communicate your mundane needs and necessities. The power of prayer is leveraged because it is a language from above, and that is what you have to realize and accept, dear, esteemed, and most notable, noble, honorable viewer. Did I mention that this is Teshuva Talk episode 2? Yeah, man, this is awesome that this gimmick that I got for a new series has actually made it to episode 2. Half the time I come up with an idea for a new gimmick for an idea for make a video, and it never gets past episode 1 because I've already thought of something else. But man, this Teshuva Talk has really taken hold. Everybody, yeah. Anyways, dear esteemed viewer, getting back, power of prayer. So when you make your prayers, they need to be infused with energy, and your heartfelt energy at that. And it needs to be realized within that special language from above, which prayer is. The language from above is not spoken with words or with the similar forms of communication that we use today in this third dimension. Even common prayer is not the form received above. This is why so many prayers go unanswered and ignored. Simply stated, most today do not know how to pray. They believe that a mere recitation of words is all they need to do. That's all that's required. Little do they know that their words are heavy and have no power to ascend. The words are spoken, come forth from their mouth, and then drop to the floor. Words are supposed to ascend. But who today knows how to make one's words defy the force of gravity? Do you, my dear, esteemed, most notable, noble, and honorable viewer, do you know how to make your words ascend? Words are actually expressions of sound waves. Sound waves. These are subject to the laws of nature, including gravity. When one lives by natural law, one is completely subject to their rules and dominion. of the third dimension. Only when one learns to live beyond the perceived natural and embrace what is perceived to be supernatural will one eventually experience that the supernatural is not supernatural at all, but rather only a natural force of which we are presently unaware. The ancients knew this well. Namaste, namaskaram. They sought to release themselves from the shackles, from their shackles of enslavement that imprisoned their minds to this physical reality, to this dense third dimensional 3D mutant matrix. They sacrificed the illusions in order to embrace the true reality. Today, the opposite is the true. Today, people are embracing the illusion in the metaverse, in their virtual realities, in their, digital matrix. It's all about loving the artificial intelligence, high mind, digital matrix. You must sacrifice the illusion, not embrace the illusion. Most people today have sacrificed the reality of the divine world, of the greater world, in order to cling tight to the illusions of our self-made delusions, of those delusions of the metaverse and the orgasmatron. Therefore, these people stay in prison. And that is one layer added on top of another physical layer that we already have to deal with. But we are prisoners within our own minds. And not only are we prisoners within our own minds, we're now prisoners of the digital matrix, of the metaverse, of virtual reality, of all your video games. We are prisoners within our own minds and the minds of the digital matrix, with none from the outside able to free us. The only way out is through within, my dear, esteemed, honorable, and most notable and noble viewer. The only way to return is to turn inwards and escape through the passageways in the mind. Yes, my Father's mansion contains many passageways and many rooms and many areas and many hidden passageways and areas and rooms. Yes, that's right. There are many rooms in my Father's mansions, and one of them has instant coffee adequately heated. Because only in such consciousness of turning within is there ever any real freedom. Without movement, nothing ever changes. Without change, something sleeps deep inside us and seldom awakens. The sleeper must awaken. Those who are asleep cannot return. That is what Teshuva is all about. Returning to God, to Source, to your divine essence. And those who are asleep cannot return to their connection to Source. There can never be Teshuva for the sleeping mind. One only dreams about doing Teshuva, but in reality never ever accomplishes it. One cannot perform a mitzvah in one's sleep and expect to receive the benefit from it in reality. The sleeper must awaken. All that one does in sleep remains but a dream. Only when the mind awakens can it perform actual functions. As long as one allows oneself to remain asleep, attached to the illusion of this world, attached even beyond this world to the digital matrix, believing its reality to be paramount and primary, one will never be able to perform an actual return to God, a return to heaven, a teshuva to Source. In ancient China, a wise man once said that he dreamed that he was a butterfly. And when he awoke, he pondered how real his dream felt and wondered if indeed he was a man who had dreamed that he was a butterfly, or was he really a butterfly dreaming now that he was a man? Those embraced by illusion and delusion scorn this and proclaim the reality of being a man. But don't be so sure. For although we appear in this world as beings and bodies of flesh and blood, this is only our garment, a temporary dwelling for our temporary sojourn here. This genetic vehicle is only a convenient container for our consciousness. As long as we identify with this garment, this genetic vehicle, we never realize the truth of the body underneath, the light body. As long as we deny the true light body, we never come to realize the true soul within, and so we remain asleep. Again, the sleeper must awaken. dear, esteemed, most honorable viewer, I'm going to provide some steps right now that will help aid in this awakening. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your interest. Thank you for your okay. Here we go. Had to shift gears there. The sleeper was still sleeping. So, step 1, surrender. Say to yourself in silent contemplation, this world around me, with all its stress and problems, is really only an illusion. It exists, but there is a greater reality underneath it. Accept this, not just in word, but in deed. You have to really mean it. Detach, let go, and just allow yourself to float inside your mind, just like a butterfly. Sting like a bee, float like a butterfly. Return. Step 2. Numero dos. Introversion. Start to become aware of your real feelings and stop denying your inner reality. Deep within you know a truth, but your mind keeps blasting you down. This digital matrix keeps electrifying you into the binary coding of its nefarious programs. Deep within you know a truth, but your mind keeps blasting you down. Your mind keeps telling you to embrace the illusion as the only reality. Fight back. Gird up your loins, put on the full armor of your God, and fight back. Tell your mind, no, I will no longer allow my own limited perceptions to limit my experiences of reality. Return. Step 3, inner dialogue. Talk to heaven inside your mind and heart. That is key. Your heart must have feeling, must have passion in all of your powers of prayer and your words of prayer to the Almighty, to Source. Share with heaven your true feelings and desires. Allow heaven's fire to burn through the illusionary attachments to the wasteful pursuits of this world. Ask Source, ask the infinite prime creator, ask the divine grid programmer, ask the all that is to show you what is really important and what you can do to see it and embrace it. Return to Source. Teshuva. So, dear, esteemed, honorable, most notable, and noble viewer, this is the power of prayer. You must fire on all of your cylinders. You must leverage all of what has been designed into your divinely planned Adam Kadmon genetic vehicle. That is what makes us unique as humans, as our emotions, the power of our emotions. And once we leverage that, we are unstoppable. We activate the Ark of the Covenant. We learn the language of those from above. We marry earth with heaven and bring heaven to earth in this golden age timeline of the new Satyuga, golden age of the new Satyuga, golden age. Ladies and gentlemen, please hit that subscribe button, leave this video a thumbs up, and stay tuned for further information, dissemination, transmissions from the Aumbonda New Earth Ashram for compassion, strength, and teshuva. Namaste, namaskaram.